Okay guys, I'm expecting a major move for Bitcoin in a little over 4 days. That's what this vertical white line represents. This would be on September 6th. So I'm going to give you the bullish case and the bearish case. Guys, if you're bullish and you expect a moonshot, I think it will be after we cross this ring again, and I will show you the bearish case as well. This vertical red line represents when I think that there's going to be a major move on the Dow Jones. We're going to cover the Dow Jones briefly, the dollar index. I'm going to give you some price targets for Bitcoin and Chainlink. Before we get into that, a lot of non-subscribers have been asking what charts are available on the website. If you click on list of charts, it'll show you what charts are currently available. If you'll notice right here, this bit rising wedge, this chart is currently available on the website. That is this chart here. So these are the Bitcoin charts, these are the altcoin charts, stocks, and precious metals. If you want to access the Bitcoin charts, altcoins, and precious metals in Discord, it's 19 bucks a month. Stocks and tutorials are separate. I do have a lifetime option. If you click on subscribe, make sure you read the details. You just make a one-time payment, get access to everything. All these charts play out live on all devices, mobile phones, tablets, desktops. You just click the link, they play out live. They're also shareable, which means you can save these charts as your own. The address for the website, opticalartcrypto.com, will be in the description. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. This is the first place to go to keep people updated. It's quick and it's easy. This is a video I put out on August 29th. This, I go over how I'm going to play the Dow Jones. I expect a major move when we cross this ring. This video also goes into detail showing you how I play these rings, how price interacts with them. And I go over in detail, you know, Bitcoin, the dollar index. So make sure you watch this video. By the way, if you do watch this video, I am giving away 3 of these 2020 American Eagle 1 ounce silver brilliant uncirculated coins. There'll be 3 winners. All you have to do is go to this video, subscribe, leave a like and a comment. That qualifies you to win. And I will be doing a live stream when we make contact with this white ring. So that's when I'll be picking these winners with random comment selector. So again, check out this video. I'll put a link up to it now. Let's get onto this chart and show you what I'm looking at. So let me give you the bullish case. So just per classical TA, so you can clearly see it looks like we're in a rising wedge. This is the top, this yellow trend line's the top, and this yellow trend line's the bottom. So typically what you do is you measure the mouth. So you go from the bottom to the top, and you would pull this up. So if we broke to the upside, you would take this and you, let's say that we do cross this ring and this is where we break to the upside. That would be about right here. So if we do a horizontal line and we come from this point right here, if we go back, notice that that just so happens to be our second peak. This is where we peaked at around 19,694. This is our next peak. So just because it happens to land right at this point, and that is the mouth, that's the distance of the mouth of this rising wedge. If we did push up, that does seem like a likely target to the upside. This around 17,357. If we pull this down, so let's say that we this ring pushes us down, a likely downside target. Notice if we pull this down, it just so happens to land right on this orange ring. If we zoom out, notice this orange ring right here. Again, this is the same fib circle. So this is where we peaked at around close to 20,000. Notice this resistance, 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 more resistance, resistance. We dropped, we came up, we pushed up to this next orange ring as support and resistance. Notice we found support here, we fell through, we found support, we dropped below the orange ring, we fell through. We came back up as resistance, support. Right here was resistance. Notice right here we pushed up as resistance. As soon as we pushed above it, we had a pump. So again, that's what I'm saying, we've been respecting this orange fib circle here, so a likely downside target would be around 7,421. Now I don't expect to have a straight pump or dump from this point. I'm just showing you per classical TA using a rising wedge where your targets would be. So let me show you some possible scenarios that I see playing out. So you can see this ring, and again this is the same fib circle, guys. So one scenario is obviously a ring could push us down. That's what this ring did here. So we could move sideways, hit this ring could continue to push us down until we hit our first target, which potentially would be here or right here. So that target, you know, if we hit the orange ring and find support, that'd be 7,446. If we drop down to this ring where we bottomed last time, that'd be 6,933. So that is one scenario. It is possible we hold support, move up from here. That would be very bullish. The more bearish scenario, so if you'll notice, this is a rising wedge. Notice the apex comes out past this ring. This is a rising wedge as well. Notice the apex comes out past this white ring. So if it plays out like this one, so notice we found support, resistance, resistance, support. We hit this white ring, it pushed us down to support. We broke above the white ring, got a pump to the top of the wedge, broke it, came back up as resistance. Then we came down, found support on this red ring, rode it as support, broke through, found resistance at the orange ring, then we came down and bottomed on this red ring. So a more bearish scenario that could play out, if it plays out like this one did, then it's possible we could push up to potentially 12,500. This ring could push us down. We could push up, get resistance at the top of this trend line in this rising wedge, potentially break down below it, push back up as resistance, then come down, find support. This would be our first support level. We could ride up this. If we break it, come back down as resistance, then we could come down and test these lower targets. So the lowest point I see us possibly going would be around 2,706. And again, your first support level is potentially right here, 7,376. So again, I'm just showing you there's different ways that these play out. Do go back and watch that video, because I do go into detail about how to play these rings and show different charts how these rings played out. So again, I'm just saying pay attention to this date. When we make contact with this ring, I'll be doing a live stream. So by the way, guys, if you are subscribed, make sure you take that notification bell and click all. So when I do this live stream, you'll be notified about it. I also want to point out, so if you'll notice, if we did push up, let me go to the 3 hour here. So notice right here, let me get rid of these lines. So notice that we were finding resistance at this white line, or this white ring. Notice that this is the top of the wedge, this is the bottom. Notice we were finding resistance, support, 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 resistance, came down to support. We broke it. We actually found support and we broke below to this wedge. Notice we kept testing this ring as resistance. Now we're slightly above it, so we could potentially continue to push up. But notice if we push up, this is around 12,500. If we go to this chart here, this is my Coinbase weekly B chart. Notice that target would line up with this resistance level. If you go back and watch previous videos, this is a very strong support and resistance level that goes back since 2011. So that does line up, that ring. So if we pushed up, potentially 12,500 is where you'd get topped out. Also take note, this ring right here, when we cross this ring, this will be on September 11th. This also goes along with the Dow Jones. So let me show you the Dow Jones chart and what I'm expecting. So this is the Dow Jones chart that I went over in that previous video in detail. Now, if you watch that video, I said it was likely we could get topped out at this ring right here. There's a number of scenarios that could play out. We could be topped out right here. We could come down and test the support. This is potentially right here around 27,802. If this does happen, and then we come and we kind of go sideways, when we cross this ring, I'm expecting a major move. Now, I don't know which way this is going to go. We could get a pump, we could get a dump. The point is, I expect a major move to happen when we cross this ring. It just so happens we cross this ring on 9/11. So it's possible we could just shoot straight up. It's also possible that when we cross this ring, we could have a dump. So if you watch that video, guys, I'm going to be longing and shorting when we cross this ring. Now, it is possible we're not topped out. It's possible we could push up and find support, and when you hit these rings from the inside, they can act as resistance to push you down. But the main thing I'm trying to get across is once we cross this ring, that is when I'm going to be putting in a long and a short, because I expect a major move to happen across this ring. Part of the reason, if you followed me back when I was predicting the Dow Jones crash, every time we crossed an orange ring, we had a drop. Notice we dropped down to support right on this orange ring. As soon as we came up on this orange ring, we had a drop down to support. When we crossed this orange ring, we had a drop down to support. This came way down, but notice we bottomed right on this orange ring. So when we pushed up, it was resistance, resistance. Notice we found resistance. Now we're finding support on this orange ring. So because price is respecting this orange ring so well, I'm expecting a major move to happen when we cross this ring. So again, if we cross this and the stock market if the Dow Jones just starts pumping, obviously you want to be long on Bitcoin. If we cross this and start dropping, you probably want to be shorting Bitcoin. So I just want to point that out. That's why this vertical line's here. I will also be doing a live stream when we make contact, when we cross this orange ring. This is another Dow Jones chart. Again, watch that previous video if you want more detail, but again, this is another flip circle that price has been respecting, and it just so happens we crossed this ring on 9/11 as well. So that's two charts in confluence showing something's going to happen. So again, just remember, if the Dow's up, Bitcoin's going to go up. Dow's down, Bitcoin's going to go down. This is the dollar index. This I had mentioned this previously as well. It looks like we're in a descending broadening wedge. This is support, resistance, resistance, support. We didn't quite make it up. We came down to support. So what I'm waiting to see is if you look at a descending broadening wedge, from a downswing, you come down, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, come up as resistance. Once you break it, this is a bullish pattern. So if this is the case, if we come back up and potentially do something like this and then break this point, I'm expecting the dollar to get a pump. Obviously, if we break below this trend line here, that's very bearish for the dollar, which would be bullish for the stock market, silver, gold, and Bitcoin. So if we break below this point, that again, it's more likely Bitcoin's going to start skyrocketing. But if we do start pushing up, again, if we start pushing up and break this resistance, if I zoom out, you can see, this is our resistance right here. It's been resistance since the 14th of May. Resistance, resistance. You got a lot of resistance right here. So if we break this trend line, I expect the dollar to get one heck of a pump. So we'll need to pay attention and see if this line holds support or not. And again, all these charts are available on the website. So really quick, if you follow me on Twitter, again, this is where I go to keep you updated. This is a Bitcoin chart. This is the 321.20. I noticed I was giving price targets to the upside. So the first target I gave was 11,871. This was a bearish. This is supposed to be a bearish pattern. If you come from a downswing, an ascending channel, typically that's a bearish pattern. We did break to the upside, but notice I had it marked off as 11,871. If we go to this chart, you can see we did come up to that point. We pushed up to it as resistance, broke above it. Now it's support. So your next target above, if we push up, we'll be right here at 12,157. And then again, if we push up, the highest point I see us going would be right here at 12,546. That does play along with that ring. If we drop, your next support level will be down here around 11,637. If we drop down to this point, we will already be breaking below this ring. We will already be breaking below this point right here, which means we're breaking down to the downside from this rising wedge. This was another tweet I made. This is August 30th. This is about Chainlink. I was given some price targets. We were getting rejected at this blue line here, so I was saying your next downside target was around $15.11. If you'll notice, that's exactly what happened. We were getting resistance at this blue line right here. We came down, we hit that target, caught a bounce. So these charts are accurate. Again, I have multiple. I have a lot of altcoin charts, Bitcoin charts, stocks as well. So let me just give you some price targets real quick. So if we come down, this is proven to be strong support, going back a ways. So for Chainlink, your first support level is around $15.28. If we push up, let's get my price label here. If we push up, your resistance is going to be around $17.17. Your next resistance above is going to be around $18.81. And if we come down, your next support level is going to be $14, around 14 bucks, and then you will have strong support down here around $13.52. So I just want to give you some price targets for both Bitcoin and Chainlink. Remember, guys, if you want to access these charts, the website will be, the link for the website will be in the description. It's awkwardcrypto.com. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Again, I go here to keep everybody updated. And also remember, guys, check out this video, leave a comment, and you are qualified to win one of these coins. There will be 3 coins I'm giving away. And again, I will be doing a live stream when we make contact with this white ring and when we cross it, as well as when we make contact and cross this orange ring right here on the Dow Jones. Well, that's it, guys. Until the next video, trade safe, trade smart.